Hi there, and welcome to another episode of A Lenten Alphabet. Today I've been reflecting on one of the most famous passages in the whole of the New Testament, the parable of the prodigal son, especially Luke 15:20. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion and ran and embraced him and kissed him. Episode 6. F is for Father. Lent is well on its way now, and it may be that you're just starting to think about the possibility of receiving the sacrament of reconciliation. Now, this sacrament is, of course, the best preparation we can make for Easter, but also for eternal life. It's essential for our salvation and for us to participate fully in the life of God and in the Eucharist. Sometimes we hesitate about going to the sacrament because we fear a rough ride from the confessor, but put those fears at rest. The priest will always welcome you because he wants to serve you by serving God, the true author of the sacrament. It may help to start thinking of reconciliation as just that, a coming home into the embrace of God the Father. Actually, the whole of Lent, and indeed the whole of the Christian life, is about this, although for some reason we don't always think of it. It is a journey specifically towards the Father, the first person of the Trinity. In the Trinity, Christ the Son proceeds eternally from the Father, gazing always on him. Now, the Son's identity as Son is constituted by his relation to the Father, simply by being that which the Father generates. This means that when the Son becomes man, Jesus' humanity is constantly being from and for the Father too. Even during the course of his earthly life, we see this. We see that Jesus' prayer is always rooted in his being with the Father when he goes off alone. He constantly refers to the Father in his preaching. At the Last Supper, he lifts up his eyes and prays to the Father for his disciples. And on the cross, it is to the Father that he speaks, calling out for forgiveness on his murderers. Jesus' mission then is to carry us that same path towards the Father, whom no one knows except the Son, and those to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. This mysterious source of all things is above, we learn from Jesus in the famous parable, a source of unfathomable mercy. And what is incredible is that we know that that same paternal mercy is shown to us. He gives his Son a share in his property the minute he asks for it, the Father in the parable. He doesn't attach any conditions to his generosity. Even when it backfires, he simply gives. And so the Father is with us. And then when the prodigal son returns from his exile, his Father shows himself forgiving and gentle. Most beautifully of all, the Father shows himself to be patient. And yet in his patience, he waits. He does not give up. He's constantly on the lookout for his Son's return, and he has faith even in the prodigal. Can't we believe in the same way that the Father is waiting for you and for me? It doesn't matter how long we've been away from the sacraments, he is still there. And more than that, when we do return to him, he does not demur, he runs towards us. Even in his patience, there's an urgency about the Father. Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. The Father has been looking for you from a very long way off. From the very creation of the world, in fact, when he had you in mind, when he sent his Son to die for you. When his Son founded the church to save you and the sacraments to bring you home. The Father has been running towards us in his Son all this time. There's no need for us to run away. Let's not lose another moment, but celebrate his great mercy with him in the sacrament of mercy this Lent.